Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. April 1st. I purposely put this video dropping at noon so that way you'd know that any chance of me pranking you would be over. But the history of the holiday is quite fascinating and shows you how the actions of people from long ago are still affecting us today. Let's start off. In the present day, we know April 1st as a time for pranks, practical jokes. And since people unfortunately never have good taste as a practical joke, it's people lack a sense of humor both on the offensive and defensive side, is how I'm going to say it. People think a joke is going to be funny, and it's not. And people have to deal with jokes they don't think are funny, but they have to put up with them because unfortunately people expect them. Oh, just go along with the joke, okay? Anyway, I kind of did one, but it was well thought out. I think so. Leave your comments down below to see if I was a jerk or not. My brother-in-law ordered a new cell phone, and I had also ordered a new cell phone. I think I touched on that on Sunday. And I got this idea in my head because we had a couple boxes and they were all shipped by the same manufacturer. I got my phone. I've already set it up. I taped the box shut again, and he was in the basement. And I said, "Hey, brother-in-law." I don't call him that. I call him by his name. "Hey, brother-in-law, your new phone's here." And he perked his head. He's perked his head right around the corner, and I tossed that empty box downstairs. And the look on his face was classic. "What are you doing?" Now, fortunately, I had the real one in my hand, and I presented it to him. But he saw the humor in it, and he laughed. That's that's a good practical joke. Nothing got hurt. Nobody was hurt in any sort of way, and it's it's a way to break the tension in the day. We don't have any tension between us, but everybody gets tension every day. Whereas if I had a tripwire for it to dump a bucket of water on his head, maybe he's going out for a job interview. He does have a job. He's just looking for a slightly better one, which we all should be doing. Um, Maybe he's going out to see a nice young lady. I know he's not at the present time, but that's a possibility. These are all the things that could have happened. A glitter bomb, all these crazy things I could have done to him. But no, I kept it harmless. It was an empty package, and everybody was kept safe and secure. So there was nothing to complain about. And you know what? I haven't seen him get upset with me, so apparently that one was okay. People do this sort of crap all the time. Now, what this goes back to was, I think it was Pope Gregory, and I can't remember the year. I'm going to say 1600s roughly. And he decided to change the calendar. To change the calendar. And the reason he decided that is because the old the old calendar that had been left over from Roman times had fallen out of sync with the seasons, as it does every so often. That's why we have leap years, because adding that extra little bit erases the inherent inaccuracies of a calendar. The actual sidereal orbit around the sun is like 364.25 days roughly. So you got to make up for that. So Pope Gregory puts together the Gregorian calendar and uses his influence to start getting people to accept it. Not everybody adopts it all at once. So if you're one of those countries in Europe where you're next door to each other, France adopted it fairly early, whereas Britain did not. They adopted it relatively late. So doing business was impossible. I want the goods delivered on the 10th, no problem, and you have two different versions of what the 10th is. So it wasn't really a practical joke, it was a matter of logistics that screwed up trade for a couple decades, really, until eventually England decided to join in on the system. There's actually a rumor that the Knights Templar were supposed to reveal themselves in the 1600s. And because France was on the Gregorian calendar and England was not, they both arrived at the chosen place in different months, essentially. So we will never know whether that happened or not. There are some rumors and some indications, but see, this is affecting group politics now. When they make treaties, they have to have a date. Okay, starting on day X, we all agree to get together. But if you can't agree what day X is, nothing's going to happen. The other thing that the Gregorian calendar did was push New Year's from April back to January. So those in the know would celebrate would celebrate the New Year in January, and on April the 1st, they'd call all their hick rube neighbors who hadn't heard the news, and oh yeah, we're going to do a big New Year's celebration. And then when they came over, they'd laugh and say, ha, you don't know what the calendar is. And when like almost none of them were literary in any sense. But they still knew how to pull practical jokes on each other. And it would suck when you find out that everybody else is celebrating in January and you're celebrating in April. No one's coming to your party except to laugh at you. This is where we get the idea today that April the 1st is for practical jokes. It's not. Nowhere did Pope Gregory sit down and write out, and you shall torment thy neighbor as you would a young child who knows no better. Pope Gregory's intention was never to make people's lives worse, it was to make them better. But our interpretation has taken that and amplified it. So on April 1st, now you get all these people running around yelling, April Fool, when they do something horrendously stupid. I can't remember having been the victim of too many April Fool jokes in my life, probably because I'm 6'3". Nobody wants to pick on the giant. But I probably have been, especially in my younger days when I wasn't the same stature as I have at the present time. But I do recall seeing a few things that were just simply not fun for anybody involved. So this year, when you're celebrating people who don't know when the new year really is, holiday, not April Fools, spare a care for what they're going through. Like I said, a good joke hurts nobody, is funny, and in the end you can all laugh about it. That's something we are lacking today, is seriously good humor. Well, aside from good humor ice cream. It's our job to treat each other politely and with respect. And that's why I'm encouraging you, well, this year it's gone, but I'm encouraging you for next year. Please, I beg of you, remember to treat everybody with respect. You can have a joke, especially if your friends have expectations, but make sure there's going to be no serious damage and no embarrassment. With that, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Silverlight Show. If you did, please like, share, because sharing is caring. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to click the icon down below so you'll be notified every single time we release a new episode. And we hope you have a fantastic day.